like she's done a crash course. She's done a crash course in Diwali and gone, I'm going to learn all of this and then I'm going to tell all my family about it.
Hi, thank you for joining me at Silas Ram, AsianCultureVulture.com. We're going to be talking about the play Passing, which is a new play coming to the Park Theatre in London. It stars Amy-Leigh Hickman, who you will have seen in a bunch of things, but most noticeably Ackley Bridge and EastEnders and the global hit series You on Netflix. She's also with the writer Dan Sareen. I'm going to let them tell you more about Passing. What's the background to you writing Passing?
It's based on feelings I was having sort of after leaving university a couple of years ago and not really knowing how to articulate them to myself or to my family or anyone really. And so I just kind of thought the best way to get them out would be to write them into a play.
Okay.
And along the way, it's become, less personal and right. More about the
sure.
as written, but yeah, it came from a personal place for sure.
And how much of your background kind of played into that, or was it the whole biracial element of Passing and the family situation? It looks. I mean, I've obviously just seen the few lines on the website and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You wanted to make it in a very family setting, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. It does reflect my own family. There's a white mother character and an Indian father, and I'm mixed race, and the two younger characters are mixed race. But as I say, hopefully it's become removed enough that my parents, when they see it, won't be thinking it's them on stage.
Amy, can I come to you? So you're playing Rachel as the central character in Passing, and she's obviously in a mixed from a mixed background, like Dan said.
Yeah, that's good.
How did you come to be in this play? I mean, obviously you're a well-known Netflix star, and you've been on TV.
Why are you doing this tiny play?
Well, that's very kind of you. Because the writing, I'm not just saying this, but the writing's brilliant and it's very honest and it's a very authentic play, and it made me laugh, and I think that a lot of people, I think it's very relatable, and there hasn't been a theatre show like this that it educates you, but with a great sense of comedy as well. So I feel like a lot of people leave the play and they'll be laughing in certain parts, but I think it's the kind of play that people are going to go home and then sit and go, oh my God, yeah, I learned that and I learned that. And I think it will be really educating.
Sure. And how would you describe Rachel herself?
She's very stubborn, but I like that in a person. I like stubborn people. I think she's just in a place, she's in her mid-20s and she just wants to learn a little bit more about culture and her dad's life as well. So she's a very, very strong character, and I like that as well. She doesn't apologize for how strong she is or the questions she asks, and those are usually the characters that I am drawn to playing as well. So I think that was probably another reason why I love the play so much. But as a whole, it's beautifully written.
Oh, that's very nice. And is the kind of the Diwali and the setting very important in the way that the play unfolds, the kind of the narrative structure? I don't know. Is that an important part of the whole play?
Sure.
Yeah.
Very important. The play's entirely set around the family celebrating Diwali for the first time. It's kind of Rachel's idea is the best thing to do is throw them in at the deep end. And we're just going to do Diwali as I've researched it online the first time and see what happens, kind of thing. So the whole show plays out over this one day in their living room where they're trying to celebrate for the first time.
I described it as like she's done a crash course. She's done a crash course in Diwali and gone, I'm going to learn all of this and then I'm going to tell all my family about it on this place.
Yeah. And we cover a lot, being Asian Culture Vulture, we cover a lot of the South Asian themed stuff, but it strikes me that we don't really see a lot about this next generation. They're growing up in a kind of different world where it's pretty, accepted, or I don't know how you would describe it. You're a bit younger than I am, so again, it's do you feel that this is an important conversation that we should have?
Yeah, definitely. I think what's been really great about this process for me is that I've met a lot more sort of biracial creatives throughout the process who have read the play and fed back and have been really open about how they feel similar things to the way I'm feeling and the characters are feeling in the play. So that's been really lovely to hear from people, because it can feel a little bit like I'm writing this, there's nothing like this out there, maybe this is all just my own thing. So it's been really good to hear that feedback and hear people engaging with it and feeling the same kind of feelings. So I hope that people with that background come and see the play and they can experience this kind of story on stage, but also just people in general. I think there's loads to relate to in the Britishness and the family element to it. So I hope people come and see it.
It's got the comedy is it's British. We're sarcastic, aren't we? And there's a lot of that British humour that I think will just relate to, anyone can be able to relate to. But what I was going to say, and I've said this before, the last time I can remember a play like this was Easter's East. And I think the good thing about this is they're not in any way the same, but it's a really good indicator of like where we're at with these kind of discussions. Because obviously that was about a white mum and an Asian dad, but this is where we're at now. And I think from people who know that play, when people come and see this, it'll be it's really educating to go, oh, look how far we've come. Oh, look how much further we've got to go.
Well, thank you so much for your time, both of you. You're terrific. And I look forward to seeing the play and maybe seeing you.
Yeah, great.
And
thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.